G'day mates and mateys, and welcome back to another reaction video. This time we're reacting to, let's hope I don't butcher this, FFXIV and 15 ways. Let's try that again. 15 ways Final Fantasy is better than World of Warcraft. Completely disagree. Maybe Zeppela here could change my mind, but WoW is better than Final Fantasy XIV.
What was with the accent?
Shh, go with it.
Go with it. Just do it.
Go with it. Wing it.
Alright, you guys, before we get in, I just want to say that Zeppela HQ, hopefully we're saying that right, is...
If we're butchering it, we're so sorry.
Absolutely. Is by far my favorite Final Fantasy XIV content creator. She does updates, update videos of the patches that are coming out and stuff like that, and then obviously her experiences playing it. I pretty much have her videos in the background every time I'm playing Final Fantasy. So if you see this, I absolutely love your channel. Keep making awesome content. All right, let's watch this and start the debate.
Oh, the debate will be hard. I apologize. I've never seen your content before, but I'm against you already because WoW is better than Final Fantasy. But maybe you could change your mind.
She
never
came
know.
from WoW. She played 10.
Ooh, see, that makes it worse. Is how do you find Final Fantasy better than?
Okay, all right, let's just go.
Guys,
All right, let's get this
today
started.
I want to talk about the different ways in which Final Fantasy XIV is better than World of Warcraft. In my last video, I talked about ways that I thought Final Fantasy XIV could maybe take some things from World of Warcraft that I think might be good over there. And so to restore balance in the Force, we have to now look at the ways that really Final Fantasy XIV is straight up better. First one, obviously, story. The character development
You can't deny
is
that.
light years better. The
No,
writing
I can't
is
deny
much,
that
much,
one.
much
There is a story.
better.
WoW
In
does not
this
really
game,
have a story.
People do bad things because
At least not one that I can follow enough to say that it does.
Except Xenos. And they're not just doing bad things because they were corrupted. They touched the green fell, or they touched the red nightmare, so they're bad now. Or they touched the purple stuff, and now they love the old gods, so they're corrupted. Like all this corruption, I'm so sick of it, and it's so lazy. It's so boring that somebody got corrupted.
All right,
so,
I'll give you that
now
one.
they're bad. That's why they made the bad choices. You know, that's so lame, and it's not interesting, and it just feels like throwing away characters that could have had potential.
Granted,
And
WoW's
Final
got
Fantasy
some crazy cutscenes now with their
characters have
expansions,
depth.
which
I'll
I
never
would
forget
enjoy
turning in
if I
20
did play
mistletoe
again.
as part of a botanist quest, and the guild instructor said, "War is inevitable. This I understand. But by aiding the war
Maybe
effort,
one day we
do
can jump
not
back on
merely
it."
contribute to the suffering, we profit from it, no better than the parasitic mistletoe. We suck the life out of the trees that shelter us for our own personal gain." This was actually a really beautiful series of quests, not just this one quest, but this was a moment from it that I decided to screenshot. The guildmaster Fufucha is wrestling with her sense of ethics regarding
I
her
want some fancy
responsibility
armor.
as
The character
the
sucks.
leader of the botanist guild and her opposition to war, her pacifism, and these things are coming at odds, and she has to decide what moral concessions is she willing to make in the name of the so-called greater good. And it's a
big explosion.
it's very memorable, it's very immersive, and
got
I
chopped up?
felt so connected to this character. And this is just one tiny example of all the depth that every person you meet in Final Fantasy XIV has. You're part of this world, and you're part of the journey that other characters are on, as well as your own journey. You are the hero of the story in this game, unlike in World of Warcraft, where you are just kind of like some random schmuck who just happened to be there at the time and who's tagging along with all these much more important heroes. You helped in Final Fantasy XIV. It's like you get credit. Shadowbringers has been called one of the best Final Fantasy narratives ever.
Oh, and I just about to get to it. I'm on the bridge to it. I can't wait.
On this one point, we're only on number one. We need to move on to the next one because I got a lot more.
Ladies
But
talking. Shush, fee.
it good. The story real good. Okay, next one. It's the dev approach and communication with people. So in the World of Warcraft community, I often sense that there is a aura of hostility between the devs and the players. It's like they're constantly at war, constantly clashing. The devs have their idea of how they want the game to be played, and the players have their idea of how they want to play the game, and it seems like they're just always at odds. World of Warcraft devs have been better at actually talking to the community, but that doesn't mean that they're actually listening.
I can't
To give you
really...
a concrete example, just looking forward into Shadowlands, there's the covenant system.
go
So
into the
you
dev
pick a
stuff,
covenant,
so I can't
and the covenant
really defend
provides
much on
some
this
free
debate.
Yeah, I've never
outfits
really
for you, but the covenant
suggested
will also
things
provide its
to the
own talent trees.
developers
Talent tree
on
might
what
not
I
be
would like to
good
see in the game,
for
and then
your
it
class
actually
or your
Yeah.
spec.
happens. So I
But
can't
what if
really
you still want the pretty glamour from that
say
Yeah,
much.
that's
covenant?
a
Well, now
tough
you're
one.
being forced to make a pretty crappy choice between, do you want the glamour or do you want to pick a covenant that's going to be better for you? And I think this puts players in an unfortunate position. There's been a lot of outcry about this, but the devs for World of Warcraft have said, well, you know, it's all going to be balanced enough, and players aren't going to discriminate on other players because they picked the bad covenant. Yeah, right. The devs have said, oh, well, you know, just trust us. It's going to work fine. It's all going to be balanced and it's going to be fine. But I don't know. It just it feels like there's a war. There's an argument always. There's always this argument going on between what the players want and how the players want the game to be and how the devs want the game to be. And it's just constant clashing.
To be fair, you kind of
Meanwhile,
get that
Final
in
Fantasy
any
14,
game.
I feel like the devs, instead of
Yeah.
trying to force their way of how they want the game to be played onto players,
I've
they watch
definitely
how
heard of it
players
in
play,
a
or
lot
they-
of games.
They
Don't get me
probably play
wrong.
themselves, and they work.
I
with
have
that.
heard
They go
some
with the flow. They don't go against the flow. They go with it.
stories
And
with the
if
Final
players
Fantasy
have a huge
developers,
backlash
though, where
against
like
something, like one time we had we
they
had gear
listen
randomly rolling for very high stats
to their
in Diamond
players,
back in the day, and nobody liked
like,
it. It was
quite
basically like Titan
significantly.
Forging in 14. Everybody got mad.
To be fair,
until
I
they
just
got rid of
started
it,
playing
just like
Final
that.
Yeah.
Fantasy
They
14,
listened to the
so I don't know
backlash and they
much.
said, "Oh, you don't like that? Okay, let's get rid of it." You know, like they. Or
I think
if,
that's the
if something
Heaven's Ward
happens
trailer.
that
I don't
makes
think I've
players
ever seen
upset
that
in
trailer.
14, like if when the time that people's butts got nerfed, they
Now I
will
just say
"Oops,
yes."
that was our mistake. They'll tell us immediately what's going on, why it happened, and how they're going to fix it to make everybody happy. It's not like this war at all. We feel like they're working for us,
Like big butts and kids.
not against us, which they should be working for us because we're the ones paying. It's just
True.
so refreshing to feel like the devs
That
have my
statement
back,
I
the
agree
devs
with.
care, and the devs
If
just
I'm
want us
paying
all
a
to have
subscription,
fun.
my
Next up, the
input
game
should
balance
be
and job
important.
viability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God, what a
I know. What the hell am I
breath
paying
of
for?
fresh air it has been in Final Fantasy 14.
So the next
For every
topic is
time a new
game
player
balance.
comes in my stream and asks, you know, what is the OP job or what is the underpowered job, I can just say, none. Go like play a job and be good at it, and then you will
True.
be viable. This is one that y'all, it's so bad over there in WoW. Like I don't think they know how bad it is. They're so used to it. They're so used to the job balance being so bad, the jobs being so imbalanced, that let me show you something I found. Okay, this is a spreadsheet that someone made.
Okay,
And it
I can
says
see the point.
The
Yeah.
mythic spec power history, percent above or below average.
I'm not liking this
What
video,
they
dude.
did is they looked at every single class and spec in the game, and they looked at how on average, how well did it perform in each expansion over the years, so that you can maybe take a safe bet. You can pick a safe job or spec that's probably not going to be underpowered in the next expansion. Survival way at the bottom, so that's not been a very well balanced spec.
True. Well, I've always done that. It had a powerful
here's
character.
Fire
in one
Mage. Well, that's
expansion,
probably
moved to the
safe
next,
because that
and
one's
character's
usually
no
like
longer as
pretty
powerful.
strong.
Well, didn't they do that with
Pretty
you?
good. Like this is not normal.
I want to talk about it.
With your
This
mage?
is not how you're supposed to play the game.
Wanna
You're
talk
supposed
about
to
it?
just pick the one you
So
think
you
is
literally have
trying to place
proof.
your bets on what
I wanna
spec is
talk
going
about
to be
You mean my mage that I had a nice
normally.
class set up and
I'm
I could throw
speechless.
spells and then I came
And
back
all I
on
can
a couple
do
times,
is, you know,
weeks
thank
later,
my
and all
lucky
my spells were
stars
gone.
that in Final Fantasy 14 they actually, you know, balance their game. Next up, music. So often you'll see me on stream doing a trial or a raid, and I'm like rocking out.
My
and I'm
opinion,
singing
Final
while
Fantasy
I am
14
doing the
music,
trial.
like
And
soundtrack
that's-
in the
hey,
game
that
and
can add a
all,
whole
like
nother level of
the
difficulty
background
to try
music
to
and
do the
stuff
mechanics
is
properly
10 times
while
better.
singing and learning
than
the
WoW's.
lyrics to the songs. God bless.
To be fair, I
Soken
mute all the
for your
music
incredible work
anyway,
on the
so
music in this game. Next, the
I usually
complexity
mute
of
music in
jobs
video
and
games.
rotation
If I want to
flow.
listen to music, I'll get my
So
own.
probably it's kind of difficult to compare these two because the games operate very differently with very different
That's fair.
feeling GCDs. But all the jobs in 14 have their own unique, like they all feel very unique to play. They all feel different and they all have this complexity. I think even the most simple jobs in Final Fantasy 14, like Dancer or Red Mage, have more going on than a lot of jobs in World of Warcraft. In World of Warcraft, a lot of jobs have a priority system with pressing your different buttons. But in Final Fantasy 14, it's more like, okay,
Facts.
here's the first part, now here's the second part, and here's the third part, and here's how they all link together.
I
The
like this video
rotation
V.
flow that you have blends in beautifully with the encounter
Turn me
design.
against
You
WoW.
might find that on many different jobs.
But like you can't
your
not agree with
abilities
it.
that
The
you
job
need for certain
complexity
mechanics
for
are coming
both
up at exactly
are completely
right
different. I
time.
do
It
agree
just
with her where
feels
Final
like
Fantasy
all the
14
stars
has
have
like
aligned
unique
and you are doing
battle,
everything right. So yeah,
like job
feels
and
great
battle
to play, and
complexity
it feels great to
between
play
each job
in
that you
boss
do. Whereas
encounter.
in
Gear
WoW,
is a big
don't get me
one.
wrong, Mage has
Collecting
its
beautiful gear in Final Fantasy
own
14
knowledge you gotta
will
be learning
ruin
if you're going that
your
route.
appreciation
Um,
of gear in WoW.
but it all
like,
feels
you will not
very
be able to enjoy robes in WoW ever
mash.
again after you play
1,
Final
2,
Fantasy
2, 3,
14 because
4,
in WoW, pants
like,
and robes and stuff are flat
stuff like that.
textures that are look like a lot of them are just spray painted on.
Final
and
Fantasy
all the
14's like,
beautiful hand-painted
if I use
textures in the
one,
world
I might
can't change
I got a
that. I know
50% chance
in
of
more
unlocking
recent
like
pieces of gear in
smack a
WoW,
man in the
they
mouth.
have added some more
and if
3D
you get it, it's a
elements,
double hit.
but
If you
the
don't, then you'd have
limitations
to
are
like
still quite
strategically
obvious. The
work your
Covenant
way
gear
through
that
the
they've
rest of
shown,
your
you can
abilities
use
to
the
see if
robes
you can.
still look like robes always
See, I
have.
need an armor set.
You
This is
get
what I
real
need.
spoiled
This is where
on all
I
the
like
various
deriving and playing
flowing
these
robes
games. I
and all
love
the
armor
different ways
sets.
that
I
a
want
robe
fancy,
can
cool
be
armor
on
sets.
character and be cut all these different ways.
You're
It's
supposed to
just,
get. You know what?
there's
Could,
no
could we trade that in
comparison.
agreement?
Final Fantasy 14
Instead of a fancy
gear
weapon,
is
can you buy me a
million
fancy armor
trillion
set?
times better.
That's probably
Only
much
wish
more
collecting
expensive.
It was as easy. Next up, community. So Final Fantasy 14 is well known for having a very nice and
We'll
friendly
touch on that in a
community, though that's not to say that it's perfect. I mean, there's a fair share of nasty people in it, like in any community. I can't believe I have to keep saying that. Obviously, there's no avoiding that since we live on Earth. So yeah,
I
those
hate
people will
that
always
she's bringing
exist,
this up 'cause it's
unfortunately.
so
But
true.
I do think that your odds
And
of
you
running
have
into
proof.
friendly people is probably higher than it is.
Yeah,
in
because I haven't
Warcraft.
ran into anybody
People
on
feel
Final Fantasy 14
cared
that's
for, they
quote
feel listened
unquote
to.
nasty.
They
Yeah,
don't feel a
yeah,
lot
we're
of
like
awareness
telling
of
you
jobs
like,
being
oh, you're
balanced
new
and
here,
other things that
God,
I've
here we
already
go,
talked about so
noob,
far.
and then they just
Generally,
don't want you
people being
there.
happy with the game, I
They're
think
usually like,
often
okay, this is how this
translates
boss
into
battle
them being
is,
happy
you know,
with each other. Next,
have fun, good luck,
transportation.
it's not that
Oh,
bad.
God. So being able to just click on an aetherite and show up where you want it to be is so much better than hopping on a griffin or a wyvern or whatever and just walking away and like go do something else, make some tea or something while you wait to finally get where you need to go.
I agree with that.
Or play a mage, or like be thinking, okay, well,
But it all
I
depends
teleport
on
to
what you
Dalaran,
like,
and then I
too.
can use the Dalaran portal, and then the portal
Yeah,
will take me to
see,
other
this
portal.
one, I mean,
What a
I
mess.
like
It's
the
so much better just
teleporting
teleport
to-
straight
for
to
quick
where
stuff when like I was going for the
headed.
mount in Final
Next, the
Fantasy.
Yeah.
14.
reputation grinds, I feel, are much better.
But the
in Final Fantasy
rest,
14.
I like the
We
views
have
and the
Beast
maps
Tribe
and WoW, and I like being able to
reputations
fly
that
on
you
my
can
dragon.
grind
and
for. But
see
the grind is not
everything.
too bad, and it usually involves a series of quests where you will get to know more about that beast tribe and has a little story to it, and the story can often be very, very good. Like, I love the Pixie Beast Tribe story, and I love the
So I can't really say
Kintari
much
Beast
about this
Tribe
'cause I haven't
story,
done
and now
any
we're working
tribe
with the
stuff
Dwarf one,
yet.
which is very nice as well.
My goal is to get all
so
the
the
story
process of
content
getting
stuff done so I can
reputation
get
is
in
really
more
fun. I look
into that
forward
stuff
to
while I
doing
wait for the
Pixie
next
Beast Tribe
expansion.
quests.
So I can't really say
Okay,
much about this.
So yeah, it's not a huge
I
pain
just
in the
started playing,
butt.
so
It's
I don't
not
know what
like
she's
running
talking
around
about.
doing world quests till
fair.
you're
It's
sick
so
of them. You just wish you didn't have to get exalted on this character. Much more enjoyable.
All I
reputation process,
recently
for
learned was,
sure,
like,
for sure.
You can get
Next,
cool mounts from
all
tribes and
jobs
stuff.
on one character.
Now this point right here, I will
yeah.
give. This is
This is the one
a winning
that's
point
gonna
for me.
make it impossible for you to
Dude,
go
facts.
back. To
That is a
World of
dope
Warcraft.
looking
This is
bard.
what's gonna keep you here. No logging off to get on a new character, and also no jobs that are locked to any
Yeah,
one
that,
race. So you can pick any race.
That used to drive
and
me
play
nuts with
all
WoW.
the jobs, and you won't be worse at a certain class or job
Because then if you
picked the
want it
race
to,
that's
like-
not optimal for that class, don't have to worry about that. Hey,
You'd get such
you
a high
can't have
level in one
imbalanced
character, and they'd be like,
racials.
"Well, I'm not really
You don't have
looking for that," and then
racials.
you'd have to start
Next,
all over
obviously,
again.
bunny girls. I don't know why I threw this in here with no additional comment. It's got to be on here, clearly. Okay, next. Character customization and
Oh, hey.
uniqueness.
Sometimes you
Far
like bunny,
more options.
yeah, like bunny
in
people.
Final
You know what I
Fantasy
mean?
14 you have to customize your character.
This was true.
Even
There was a
after
little bit
all
more
of the new
options for
customization, they're adding in Shadowlands, which is great. I'm glad that they're adding all of that customization. You
Yeah.
just have so many more hair colors to choose from, so many more eye colors, so many more skin colors. Not to mention all of the tattoos and the facial features and the face paint and makeup and all that stuff. Also, we have the
She's making a
sub
compelling
races,
argument, and I don't like it.
and have a different color palette,
dang
so
it,
maybe slightly
she's
different
winning.
facial features too. There's a lot more to make yourself look
She's
different.
beating
Plus, you
me.
have much better looking animations and battle effects. Like the emotes look
It's true.
so
It's
good.
true.
Cool, like idle poses depending
Final
on maybe
Fantasy
on your
4
background,
it all
using
again.
or your race.
Obviously,
Like
with
racial
everything
idle
though,
poses are really
it all
cool.
depends on the
You have
person.
different
I
facial
love Final
expressions
Fantasy 14
and,
for that. It
combat
is
animations
super
are amazing.
flashy. There's a
And,
lot going
I guess this
on.
kind of
I like how it
dovetails
looks
with the next
when
one,
you're
WoW can be
battling.
really,
that I
really
wanted to bring up,
flashy in
which
raids,
is
though.
Gpose.
And in
Gpose.
dungeons.
So you do a combat animation, and then you can go to Gpose.
You can get some
and
pretty
you can
sparkly
look at it really
effects.
closely. Really gives the player a chance to fully appreciate the hard work of the devs.
That's
that
a cool-ass
created
weapon.
that
Big facts.
animation and all those spell effects and everything.
dope.
Next
I
up,
want one of those.
crafting and gathering professions. So in Final Fantasy 14, those professions really function just like their own.
So I haven't done
jobs.
a
They have
lot of
ton more
crafting and
content. They have their own end game. They get
gathering.
more and
I
more
have
content
in the
every day,
beginning,
every patch
but I
is
haven't
with
in a
Shard
very
Restoration,
long
providing
time.
a
But
ton
I
of
did
stuff
enjoy
for
it when I
crafters
was
and
doing
gatherers.
it,
So
and
if
it
you
did
like crafting
seem
and gathering,
very balanced
you
and
are never going to run out of
getting
stuff to
into
do.
the process
I
of
feel in Final Fantasy
creating
14.
things that you
And,
want depending
crafting is not
on
just
what
pressing
you're
one button.
doing.
It is
Um,
pretty involved, and you're going to be
was it
thinking about what you're
super
doing, and there's a
grindy
level
or
of
confusing?
mastery
I
to be
find with
achieved
WoW,
in
when
crafting
getting like
and gathering.
crafting jobs and stuff
So,
like that, I had no
Final
idea what the
Fantasy
hell I was
14
doing, and they
is,
didn't
with a
really
couple
explain
of
it to you.
It-
random exceptions.
Just
because
kinda gotta get
this is
lucky.
Normal for there occasionally be
Well,
bugs
especially with
in a
finding your
video
stuff
game.
or
For the
buy
most
it on the
part, it's quite
marketplace.
bug free, and I don't really experience major glitches or bugs or any problems like
That's a
that
cool
in the
weapon.
game ever.
See, I'm a weapon
They
armor
handle that
guy.
because
Like, give me
they
the
do
cool
all the
shit.
QA
I
themselves,
hate the beginning grind.
and they do it well. There's no
I do agree with this
PR.
bug thing.
There's no
Not
beta, there's
very
no
little
alpha.
bugs.
There's
Then again,
no
I haven't played
players
WoW enough to
doing
notice
QA
any
work and
bugs.
bug reports. We can all
Out of all the
enjoy
times I've
story
played
of
WoW,
the
I
day
don't
and
think
watch
I've
us together,
experienced
and we don't have to
any
work
bugs
QA
or any
for Square Enix
issues
because they're a multi-billion-dollar
like
company
that.
that's
You know what I
perfectly
mean?
capable of paying people to do QA and balancing the game without players' help. So yeah, no salt there. What are some ways that you think Final Fantasy 14 is better than World of Warcraft? Actually, it's incredible that Final Fantasy 14 does so many things better than World of Warcraft when
right,
it
here we
is
go.
so much younger as an MMO compared to World of Warcraft and came from such a horrible, horrible launch. Like the progress that it's made and the strength of it.
That's
as
my
an MMO
face
in
of
such a
victory
short
because I
time
know
is
we
pretty
just won the
remarkable.
debate.
And the fact that it can stand toe to toe against World of Warcraft and come out ahead in so many cases is really a testament.
My
to
dragon's still
leadership
better than
and
your
You're
dragon.
only saying that
So what do you
because
think?
you don't
Is there
have one on
anything that
Final
you think Final
Fantasy.
Fantasy
'Cause it's
14
true.
does better than World of Warcraft? Let me know in the comment section.
But when I
down
do, it'll be
below.
better than
Like
your
this video,
dragon.
Please consider supporting the channel on Patreon or on Twitch. You can also support the channel
No,
for
I'll
free
get
by
better
clicking the
one.
subscribe button or by sharing this video with your fellow warriors of darkness.
It was a good
Thanks
video,
again
though.
so much for
She
watching.
won me
and
over
I'll see you next
slightly.
time. Bye.
Like it. Not cool. I've been playing Final Fantasy 14 because somebody's got me playing it. But I'm a WoW guy. WoW guy.
But see, you're a WoW guy.
Until I have to
that
pay
don't,
for it.
Yeah, one, paying for it, which I believe is more expensive than Final Fantasy 14.
$10.
And well, you don't like playing it by yourself, to my knowledge.
No.
So
The grind is too real.
And then having to go in and try and learn your mage all over again might be a pain in the Dickinsons.
It is, because like she said, every expansion they change it.
Yeah, like with Final Fantasy 14, it isn't really any change, except for you learn new abilities because you're going to go up in levels with the level cap.
Feeks.
So I agree with everything she said, and I stand by it 100%.
Kisses.
Zed, you're just mad because she made valid points and you wanted it to not be valid.
I did. I just so badly wanted to debate, but there was nothing I could debate. She made valid points all the way around. I'm sad about it. I was ready for a debate. I was ready to fight points and arguments. The only one that I could was I think the visuals in WoW are much better than the visuals in Final Fantasy 14. Your sparkle show in Final Fantasy 14 is nothing in comparison to the map's beauty all the way out throughout WoW. I'm sorry, I don't think that's beatable by any marginal aspect. But other than that, she was right on everything else.
As far as like the sparkle show, as you called it, based on the atmosphere of WoW, I think the sparkle show is a lot better on Final Fantasy 14 than it is on WoW in the same concept of battle. But I also, don't get me wrong, I have places in WoW that I did enjoy looking at. They're very great looking places, but I've had more time and places in Final Fantasy 14.
You didn't get very high of a level of your home city. You didn't really get to explore Azeroth.
Yeah, whereas like Eorzea and every other place around it, forgive me, I'm horrible with names, but every other place around it, like I just usually fell in love with how it looked as soon as I walked in. Then again, I'm a big Final Fantasy guy, so
this is true.
It was just given at that point.
This is true.
Well,
still sad.
Yep, that's because you lost.
I did. So lead us in the charge. I won't talk about it anymore.
That was 15 ways Final Fantasy 14 is better, and she proved right.
She did, unfortunately.
World of Warcraft by I don't want to butcher the name, Zeppla HQ, and I really hope I'm not butchering it. If you guys want to see the original video without our commentary and our thoughts on it, on what she was talking about, the link to that video will be in the description down below, as well as the link to her channel. Please go over and subscribe to her. If you ever want to learn anything about Final Fantasy 14 and you're getting into playing it, or just want to learn something new that you haven't learned already, this is the channel you should be going to.
Go check it out.
Listen to him. It's fact. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell so you know exactly when we post content. Share the video with your friends. See what they think. You've tuned into the Project Returns. My name is V.
My name is Zed.
And our asses
are going to bed.